Hey there, Holly Show listeners. Aaron Nabus here, and I'm recording this intro to episode 85 on April 6, 2020, which just happens to be the birthday of the founder of the Poster Posse, Don Thompson. As many of you know, I'm a huge fan of the Poster Posse, and I appreciate everything that Don has done to promote the artists from around the world that contribute to each project. I thought it would be cool to take a time machine back to San Diego Comic-Con 2014 when we first met Don, before there was even ever a Hall H show, when we were just a blog. In fact, we had just launched hallh.com 1 month prior to this conversation. You'll have to excuse the background noise since we were lucky enough to find an open area in the mezzanine at the San Diego Convention Center, and this was originally going to be a written interview anyway. And I just used a simple pocket recorder just to, back up my notes. What I loved about this conversation is that you could tell right off the bat that Don will always have the backs of the artists that are part of the posse. And it was refreshing to find a kindred spirit who wanted to promote creatives from around the world who deserved more exposure. It was pretty cool to hear again how the subpar art of the World War Z movie poster was the spark for him to start the Poster Posse in the first place. And I thought that this recounting definitely demonstrates the importance of making your own circumstances. We go on to talk about Batman, Bruce Lee, his leaving the East Coast and moving to California with some friends, basically on a whim, new wave music, and more. Fast forward 6 years later, and the Poster Posse is still going strong and still producing amazing work. I'm still in awe like I was back in 2014 each time I see one of their projects drop. Please enjoy this phenomenal conversation and also join me and my co-host, Alex Benedicto, in wishing Don Thompson a phenomenal birthday. All right, so I guess just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Don Thompson. I started blurpy.com about 3 years ago. And then about halfway through it, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I started an artist collective called the Poster Posse. And basically what spurred it on is that I saw the very first poster for World War Z, and it was just a black piece of paper, and there was a silver Z on it. And I was like, yeah, that's, I really want to see this movie, but, the poster's not very exciting. So I reached out to a dozen artists and said, hey, would you guys like to do poster for this, and we'll display it online.
How did you know these artists?
I didn't know them at all. I just reached out to people whose art I liked. And
is it on DeviantArt or something like that? Or?
No, I just online. Just seeing people's print drops and stuff from galleries and stuff, and I saw some people that I liked. 8 of the artists responded to me. I call them the original 8, which is a Transformers reference. But and we did that. We did World War Z for the first project, and we got lucky, Paramount saw it. Well, actually, they bought our very first project. They used it at Hot Topic. They used it for limited edition prints. They used it for giveaways. So it was very exciting, After that, we just, I started inviting more and more people. I see people's work on Behance. I see people's work at different gallery exhibits. And artists reach out to me after each project. I get a bunch of artists that reach out to me and say, hey, I like what you're doing with the Poster Posse. Can I join? And at the beginning, I was letting people join. It's gotten, we're up to 54 members now. So it's at a point now where I have to be a little bit more selective. I'm trying to be more strategic in my planning. I'm looking for somebody in Brazil. I'm looking for somebody in Russia.
It's worldwide.
I'm trying to have someone on each continent. I have a guy in Japan, someone in Turkey, a bunch of people in France, UK, Canada, Mexico. I'm just trying to cast a wide net. Nice. What's great about that too is that when we do a project, I can ask the artist in Japan, could you retweet this in Japanese for us? I can ask the guy in Turkey, can you retweet this in Turkish? French, whatever it is, Mexican, whatever they do, it just kind of casts a wider net for us. And it's we're getting a lot more followers, so it's good. It's good.
So 3 years ago you started Blurpy?
Yeah.
And then how long after that did you start?
About a year after that is when I started the Poster Posse. And we've done 10 projects to date. Our last one was Batman 75th anniversary.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a fun one. That was the biggest one we've ever done. It was a 5-day reveal, and we had over 100 pieces of art in it. And we invited guest artists to come on board, so we had some really great guest artists come on and contribute stuff. Poster Posse really embraced it and a lot of guys did multiple images. It was very well received. It was great.
So when you have like a theme that you're going to do, does each member have to do one? Is that mandatory?
So here's the thing with the group. I tell the guys, look, what they do for me is free. What they get from me is exposure and media coverage. So it's an open door policy. Once you're in the posse, once you're in the group, you can participate in whatever project you want. If you're too busy with clients, don't worry about it. Come to the next project. If you don't like the theme of the next project, don't worry about it. Go to the next project. I have people that have only participated in the first project, and I'm on number 10 right now. But they're still involved, and that's good. That means they're busy, and that's what The whole thing, the whole reason I started this was to give up-and-coming artists, or artists in general, the exposure that I felt they deserved. They weren't getting. I've talked about Matt Ferguson before. He did the art for the suitcase box set from Marvel, the Avengers Experience. He did all the interior art for that. And I was like, wow, this guy's huge. No, he had a daytime job, and he was doing art on the side. I'm like, dude, you should be doing this full time. He goes, I'd love to. I go, well, let's get there. Let's participate in these projects. Let's get the word out, and it worked. He was able to quit his job this year, and now he's doing art full time. I'm not saying that's because of me. I'm just saying that's what I enjoy doing, is trying to help people get there.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So Batman was number 10?
Batman was number 10, yeah. We've got 3 more lined up for the rest of this year. I can't talk about them yet because they're a work in progress. Okay. But
any hints?
Movies or
all movie based. I will tell you that we're looking to branch out into TV. We're looking to branch out into video games, and we're looking to possibly do some book stuff. Those are 3 areas that we'd like to touch upon, and I've reached out to people in those areas, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I can't give any hints. That's one of the beauties. I think one of the things that's so appealing about what we do is that one day there's nothing online, and then the next day, guess what? Here's a brand new project, and it's like, whoa, this just came out of nowhere, I'm in an odd position because as a blogger, I want to post as much as I can. I want to give people as much information as possible. So when I see a gallery doing a show, I'll scour the internet looking for images, and I'll post as many images as I can for that show. What we're finding out is that people love those articles, but when they get to the gallery, they're like, well, I've already seen almost everything. I want the Poster Posse stuff to be, no one sees it, no one knows about it until the day we launch it. And luckily, to now, the 55 artists have been able to keep it secret and hidden away.
That's important, yeah.
It just has a little bit, I think it has more impact, but who knows.
No, I think it does. From a marketing standpoint, a branding standpoint.
Exclusivity.
Yeah.
It's exclusivity. I know that all the content, when people like, Nerdist, /Film, Collider, all those great sites, IO9, when they pick it up, I know they're coming to my site to get it because it's the only place that the content is held. So, and they've all been great to me. I mean, whenever they cover our stuff, they give us links back, so they're phenomenal. I mean, yeah, it's great.
Do you have an idea of how much traffic you get per month, or?
I think I looked last month. Our Twitter reach last month was a little bit over 300,000. Website, I think, is averaging between 65 and 75,000 unique visitors a month.
Wow.
So it's obviously not big, but it's growing.
It's a good start, yeah.
So it's a good start. I don't advertise anywhere. It's all word of mouth, and it just kind of happens organically. So.
So I was reading your website, and you're originally from Maine?
I'm from Maine, yeah. I grew up in Maine. Like I said, I've lived out here 25 years now, so I've officially lived here longer than I lived in Maine. I just moved out here with a bunch of friends when they graduated art school, and I have no artistic ability. They were the ones with the talent. But
did all of you decide to come out here? Or
yeah, there was like five guys that wanted to move out, and they just asked me, hey, we're moving to California, do you want to go? And I said, sure. I wasn't really doing anything. I said, when? They go, we're moving at the end of the summer. I said, okay. And sure enough, end of the summer came, like, okay, we'll be there tomorrow. You got your stuff packed? I'm like, oh crap. Okay, yeah. We didn't know anybody out here. We knew nothing. We didn't have jobs, a place to stay, nothing.
Wow.
And it just kind of all worked out. It was kind of crazy how everything just lined up. So.
Is everybody still here in the West Coast?
You know what? I know at least one of them has moved back. I think a couple live up in San Francisco. Yeah, there's still some guys out here. I think there's at least one or two that moved back though.
Was it in Southern California, you guys?
Yeah, I moved down to Ocean Beach when I first got here. It was a lot different 25 years ago.
Yeah.
More hippie-ish, less. Yeah, it was still dirty, but it was a little bit easier vibe down there. So it was good. We loved it.
Ocean Beach, yeah.
Yep.
So, also on your website, you have a pretty eclectic list of loves that you have on there.
Yeah, you know what? I threw some of his stuff wouldn't even register on most people's charts. You know, I put DePietro's Italian sandwiches. Back east, we have these sandwiches that are amazing, and DePietro's Market is a local store by my house, and they make them. And I literally, as soon as I get off the plane, anytime I go back and visit, I go straight to DePietro's Market and I get a sandwich. Same thing with Humpty Dumpty chips. You know, it's food related again. There's a barbecue chip on the East Coast called Humpty Dumpty, and they used to be made in Maine, but they got bought by somebody in Canada. But anyhow, anytime I have one of those chips, it's kind of like that scene in Ratatouille when the guy eats the ratatouille and he kind of like has that vision of being a child. Yeah. As soon as I eat one of those chips, I'm in 4th grade in elementary school paying a quarter for a bag of chips, and I'm so excited to open it and eat it, and the taste, the flavor, the smell, it all brings me back. It's kind of crazy. So
awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff in there, you know.
Yeah, I mean Smith's, The Cure.
Well, that's when I grew up, you know. So I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and that's all the music I loved. So I still love it. I still listen to it all.
Yeah, I love the new wave stuff.
Yep.
It's incredible. What do you see yourself in 5 years?
You know what? I think what's happening with the group now is the more I get into these projects, the more opportunity that's coming our way. It's becoming more of an agency, if that makes any sense. You know, I'm literally going out. I'm spending the entire show here, trying to make connections. I made a great connection at a movie studio the other day, and I talked to them about movies, but I also mentioned TV, and they were really excited about the fact that, oh, you would do this for TV? And I'm like, absolutely. It's one of the things we want to embark upon. So I'm out trying to find all these contacts to bring work back to the group, and that's good. You know, it's paying clients for them. You know, they get paid for this stuff, and it helps them. It adds to their resume. You know, it's great to be able to say I officially work with Marvel for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet. Yeah,
that's cool. That's great. So Marvel bought a bunch of our posters, and they're using them in various ways. So using one as the official IMAX poster. They use one here at Hall H for their official giveaway poster. They're doing some other things online with them. So it was exciting for the guys to be called up and asked to, you know, participate in official, like one of the biggest movies of the year. I've seen the movie. They let me go see it early, which was wonderful.
Oh, nice.
It's fantastic. I don't see how it's not going to be the biggest movie of the year.
Wow.
You know, it's funny. We're sitting in Guardians, and I noticed that parents were laughing. And kids were really into it. And the first thing my son asked me, well, halfway through the film, he goes, Dad, he sees these packages come to the house all the time for the blog, and it's usually DVDs because it's after me. And I go, you can open it. So halfway through, I'm like, Dad, you have to get this on Blu-ray when it comes out. I'm like, I will. And then the movie ends, and as soon as the credits start, he goes, Dad, they're making part 2? And I said, I think so. He goes, yes! He stood up in the theater and was like, yes! And everybody's like, what? So it's a movie that'll appeal to adults and kids. It's probably their funniest movie to date. But yeah, it was a great project to be associated with. They've been fantastic to work with. They're so nice and accommodating, and just very, very good people to work with. So yeah, probably more of an agency atmosphere, where I have work that I can farm out to these talents, and I don't know how much bigger the group will get. Like I said, I get so many requests from people, and it's from really talented people. I mean, there's some really good people that are asking, and I just, with 55 people, it's kind of a big project to handle, like, well, who can do this project and who can do that? And it's great to have that, but yeah, I don't know if the group will get much bigger, but yeah, probably more of an agency.
So is this your full-time job? Or?
This is all I do. I used to work in action sports.
Huh.
I was a customer service manager at two of the biggest companies in action sports for over 15 years. First with DC, and then with Soul Technology. And Soul Technology does Eddie's S America, a bunch of skateboard
DC
stuff.
Tri? DC Shoes?
DC Shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was at DC when they first started. I mean, it was very, very back in the day when you'd get an order and go pull it yourself.
Right.
I mean, it was so. I was there for the first 7 years, which was phenomenal.
Were they in Huntington Beach? Is that?
Nope, they were down in just out in Vista, just out of Carlsbad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a fantastic time because we'd come here and do conventions, and they were like rock stars. They were. I mean, everybody wanted to be a part of it, and it was fun. But so after the economy kind of had a tough bump in the road, I just did a blog, and it kind of progressed, and like I said, then it progressed into the Poster Posse, and I couldn't be happier.
Right.
Not making any money, but I've got a wife that understands there's opportunity here, and God bless her, and she puts up with my nonsense. I work. I drop my son off at school at 8:30 in the morning. I work from 8:40 to usually 3 when I pick him up. I play with him until 8 o'clock at night. He goes to bed. I work from 8 at night to probably usually 1, sometimes 2 in the morning. So my time is really like regimented, whereas I don't even watch TV anymore.
How old is your son?
He's 8.
8?
Yeah.
It's funny because while I was standing in line to get my badge, I just struck up a conversation with a father and son. This was their first Comic-Con together. So,
they're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, so I did an impromptu interview with them. So it was kind of interesting seeing the generational relationship between them two. Like, he like me, was into Marvel and Avengers, and he's more into like Xbox and video games.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but it's the mashing of both worlds because Xbox does have a presence here,
right?
And there's all that virtual reality stuff. Like Fox has that Oculus thing where you sit in the Xavier's chair. I think Warner has that Storm one, so that they'll both have stuff that they can gravitate to here.
Right.
That'll be perfect for them.
Right. So I'm assuming that's the same relationship you have with your son.
Yeah, we go to Avengers, Thor, all that stuff. We watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He watches Arrow. I'm really excited that Warner is releasing the Batman TV series on DVD and Blu-ray because I want to share that with him. I grew up watching that show.
Oh, the animated or the TV?
The regular TV series.
Oh, the one that you were talking about.
Yeah. So they're releasing that whole series on Blu-ray for the first time. So I want to sit and watch it with him because it's so different than the superhero stuff he sees now. And when I was growing up, it was cutting edge and exciting, and literally couldn't wait for the next episode to show on TV.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Mexican standoff episode with Bruce Lee. And
they talked about Bruce Lee, so it's funny you mentioned that. So Burt Ward, Robin, yesterday mentioned, he goes, I lived in the same complex as Bruce Lee, and we would spar together. He goes, I was actually a black belt, and Bruce and I would spar together, and he wanted to be on the show, but when we fought, he didn't want to. He said, "I don't want to lose."
I did read that somewhere.
Yeah. So he goes, he didn't win. It was more of a draw. But he goes, "Yeah, I used to know Bruce, and Brandon was only 6 months old when he knew him and stuff." So I was pretty interested to hear him tell that story.
That's awesome. So, if you could go back in time and tell your 13-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
Save all your comics. Save them all.
Don't open your toys.
Don't open your toys. Save all your comics. I mean, I guess, we didn't have stuff like this. So I grew, I'm 48 years old. I was born in 1966. We didn't have any outlet like this. The internet, all this stuff, it's so accessible to kids. So, on Saturday mornings, that's when you saw your cartoons. You couldn't just turn the TV on a Monday through Friday and watch whatever you want. You literally had to sit by the TV on Saturday morning and watch cartoons. And it's a different time now. It's easily accessible, which is great. And it kind of takes some of that specialness away too, I think, because, when you'd see those Christmas specials, whether it's Snoopy or whatever it is, The Grinch, you only saw it that one night on TV, sitting on the couch with your family, waiting for it, sitting through the commercials, not fast forwarding. And it was a special time, So I think kids have access to stuff now, which is great, but I do think a little bit of specialness is being taken away as well. So when I was 13, let me think. Yeah, I would say don't save all your comics. Don't open your toys. Yeah, it's just all those are ruined. I think back now, and I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I feel bad that I burned Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, you would destroy them, you'd melt them. Yeah, nothing funner than melting a plastic toy you had. Until you get back here and you're like, what, $5,000? Oh, nuts.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, and I lived in Maine, so it was a lot different too. There was no entertainment industry. There was no beach, outdoor. Well, there is outdoor culture in Maine because it's beautiful there, but it was a lot different back there. A little smaller, slower paced. So.
What city did you grow up in?
South Portland. So it's about an hour and a half out of Boston, and we would drive to Boston to go record shopping for the day. When I got to the age you could drive, we would drive to Boston for the day. Like, oh, we're out of the city, we're out of our home state, we're in Boston. Well, it's an hour and a half. It's no big deal, but it felt like a big deal. And you'd walk up and down Newbury Street and hit every single record store looking for all the imports that you could not find in Maine or whatever. And it was, you'd go to Newbury Comics and go comic book shopping. And you'd time it on Wednesdays to get the new releases, and it was a lot different.
Is Newbury Comics still there?
You know what? I think they're still on Newbury Street, but I think it's a lot different now. And they're a rare breed. There's Mile High Comics. There's a few comic book stores that have survived, but yeah, that was a big experience going there. We used to love it. Spend the entire day. We'd go get our favorite pizza. We'd walk by Fenway Park and think we're so cool. Listening to the Smiths and the Cure. Bleach blonde hair.
So, if you could have dinner with one real person, dead or alive, and one fictional person, I guess dead or alive, who would they be, and where would you have dinner at?
Real person, dead or alive. Fictional person, dead or alive. Real person would be... Jeez. You're really kind of... There's so many, I think someone like... I've seen Robert Downey Jr. interviewed, and he's just thinks so fast, he's so intelligent, and he's just got a lot to say, and he has a lot of different... I like what he has to say, He's really interesting. Chip Kidd is amazing. Matter of fact, I met Chip Kidd here, and I talked to him for like 5 minutes, and it was amazing. The guy is just so talented, and he's so... You instantly feel like you know the guy, and he's easy to talk to. And I would love to sit down and talk to Chip about stuff. Fictional guy. Let's see. I do like Batman. I do like Batman. I will not lie. I feel he's a tortured soul, so that might be our tough conversation.
So I'm sure like the last Batman thing you guys did was pretty dear to you.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was crazy to see how many people. Everybody was into it, so it didn't take twisting anybody's arm to participate, and. The infographic that one of the artists did at the end was very telling too. It showed, there was like, it said something like 90 Batman images, 1 Robin image. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's not much Robin love out there. So, but there was a lot of Joker, so it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and there's no rules on these projects either. So like, I just said, look, anything Batman related. For instance, Flory down in Australia just did 5 Joker prints. So all Batman related, but he did different variations of Joker from different film, whatever, TV, whatever. So it was cool doing that. Orlando did the Batman from 1966. He did 3 of the villains, and that was phenomenal. You know what I noticed? I say in interviews a lot. I say phenomenal a lot.
That's okay.
I did an interview with that documentary 24 by 36, and I was in front of the camera, and he was behind the camera, and he was filming me, and. Blah 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 phenomenal. Blah 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 phenomenal. Blah 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 phenomenal. And then at the end of it, I went, "Shit! Did I just say phenomenal 5 times?" He goes, "Don't worry, we'll edit it out." I said, "Okay." So I'm gonna come up with a new word for you guys. Yeah, I'd say Bruce Wayne would be amazing. I know Robert Downey Jr. is another, I consider him more of an actor. I don't want to peg him as just Iron Man, although I can't imagine anybody else playing that part.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard shoes to fill. I mean, I feel bad for the guy who has to come in and try to play the Joker again. I thought Heath Ledger just dominated it. I can't imagine. You know what? Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger?
Yeah. His performance in The Dark Knight was one of the most fantastic things I've seen in cinema since I've been watching movies because I was totally removed from the fact that it was Heath Ledger. I had when the movie was happening, it literally was like 10 minutes into the movie before I go, oh shit, that's Heath Ledger. Like it was that good, and it was dark, and he did a fantastic job.
And a bunch of that was ad-libbed too.
A lot of it was ad-libbed, and it's amazing that he could go to that place and create that character so well, because that's how I pictured the character in my mind all these years, you know. Maybe not the Cesar Romero kind of character from the TV show,
right.
which I loved at the time, and I still love. I'm gonna watch, like I said, I'm gonna watch it with my son.
Yeah.
The Joker is a dark, demented character, and he really brought that to the table, and that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. That was fantastic.
Oh, what would you have dinner at with all these people?
Ooh, dinner. Well, I'll tell you what, I love Italian food. And I love pizza. And there's a place in Oceanside that I would love to take him. It's low key. It's called the Privateer. I was there last night actually, in Oceanside, and they make all handcrafted food. Everything there is amazing, and it's benches. They have a bar, a small bar. It's a very small place, but it's got a surf vibe. They have surf videos on. I like the atmosphere in there. You walk in, you feel like you're at home.
Let's go check it out.
All the way, yeah, it's a great place, guys. Seriously, great pizza. Oh, Jesus. I might even go there on the way home tonight. It was so good.
Do you have anything else to ask?
No.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to
No,
add?
that's good. You know, I appreciate you guys talking to me. I know I ramble a lot. So.
No, it's fine. It's cool.
But yeah, no, it's all good. Like I said, I'll let you guys know when we do new projects if you want. I can send you press releases on that if you guys want to cover it. What's your site going to be like?
What's our site gonna be like?
Yeah.
It's pretty much. We'll call it Hall H, but
Which I think is great.
It's sort of like an ironic thing. Hall H is all mainstream, but we kind of want to bring it back to.
What Comic-Con used to represent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So like when we go around here, we're looking for like you know how you want to give notoriety to a bunch of artists that probably wouldn't have it.
Right.
We kind of want to do the same thing.
Great. That's awesome. There's a lot of people, and it's funny. First of all, you guys remember, Comic-Con was never this big.
Oh, yeah.
It was half the size of that, and it was all comics. It was comics and posters, and there was a bunch of there was T-shirt stuff and whatever. Well, those people are all pushed to the end now, and it's all the people. I can remember the people that have been here forever.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and that's interesting. You know, that would be a I see these tables with no one at them. And I walk and I come back and there's still no one at it.
It's funny you mention that because one year, I'm a huge Silver Surfer fan.
Yep.
And I grew up reading Ron Lim's stuff, and he was at a table and nobody was there with him.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
To think, you see these guys, I'm like, whoa, you're Bruce Timm. Like, why isn't there a line of people right here going, hey, can you please draw Batman for me? Or, I don't get it sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's sensory overload in here, you know? It's, all your senses are going crazy. First of all, the smells are absolutely horrible. Thousands of sweaty nerds is not fun.
We just wrote something about that.
Yeah, sweaty nerds is not a good mix. Hot heat and humidity in San Diego is not good for these guys. But anyhow, so you get your senses going, sight, sound, your feet hurt, your back hurts, you're hungry, food in here is not that great. It's just, you're all over the place. And then, you've got, like you said, virtual reality stuff. You've got lines for posters and toys and people getting signings. It's a lot to take in, And I think that maybe the people like, look at this right here. All these people
Small
sitting
press.
in these booths, and no one's at them. And they're just like, hey, come check out my stuff.
Yeah.
And I try to always stop. If someone makes eye contact and they say, hey, would you like to look at my comic? I'm like, sure, absolutely. I'll give them 3 minutes of my time.
Right.
Like, never know. I think I try to tell my group, I said, opportunity is everywhere. You never know where it's going to come. We're participating in a art exhibit in Prague. We were asked by somebody in Prague to participate in an art exhibit, so I have, I think, 5 members that are doing art for it. And it's a non-paying thing. But the way I laid it out there is like, guys, you never know where this will go. What if, you mentioned Alfonso Cuarón, what if he's filming a movie over there and says, oh, I'm going to go check out this exhibit, It's the Man of Tomorrow, I think, is what it's all. Robots and Man or something is the theme of the show. And he walks in there and sees some cool art. He's like, whoa, he looks and sees your name on it. What's to say that will lead to something, So you never know where opportunity is, and that's why I think, when these people, if they're taking the time to sit there and they want to engage me and, hey, can you look at my comic? Sure, I'll look at it. Geez, this is really good. Can I get your card? I'd love to write about it. Or if I write about it, you never know where that will lead, And
tell me if you can see me.
I think I do believe opportunities everywhere. I harp on the team about that. I just say it over and over.
So is maybe one of your goals to maybe work as retainer for one of these studios to produce artwork for them?
You know what? I like right now that we can work with multiple studios. I think that would be interesting. Like I said, I think right now we're in an interesting position because we can offer a studio multiple looks at something at no cost. It doesn't cost anything to participate in these projects. When they like it, that's when they pay for it, and that's fine. But I choose projects that I think will resonate with fans. I choose projects that interest me. And I try to choose projects that I think will stir the creativity of the artist involved. And it's hard, with 55 people, not everybody's going to like Transformers. Pretty much everybody liked Batman, but I mean, people aren't going to like, Star Trek, Pacific Rim. I mean, we've had fantastic turnout for that, but there are people that like, I'm going to work on something else. That's fine. I thick skin, I learned after about the second project, like, okay, not everybody's going to participate in every project. Don't get upset about it. They need to get paid. You're not paying them, so let them work on paying clients. And not every project's going to be a home run. Some projects are way more successful than others. Way more. Guardians is a perfect example of that. We posted Guardians. It was a 2-day reveal. We posted Guardians at 9 o'clock in the morning. By 9:10, James Gunn started retweeting each image and giving credit to the artists. We're like, whoa, what's going on? And he would tweet it. And he'd go, here's one by Orlando, and here's one by Matt Ferguson. Love this art. And we're like, whoa, so, that was a huge success for us, and he called Marvel and said, hey, look, we need to use some of this art. So that worked out good for us,
Nice.
But other projects haven't really hit or taken off that I thought would. And that's fine, I try to keep my finger on the pulse and figure out. I think, the ones we have for the rest of the year, I think there'll be some good hype behind them. We will be doing another anniversary project. And the other two are movie related. So we haven't, I do have an artist working on a music-based project with a company in the UK. No book stuff yet, no video game stuff yet, but it's a work in progress.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Dude,
Phenomenal
you very
interview,
much.
man.
Thank you very much. I know, I ramble.
No, it's awesome.
I go to these meetings like with Marvel or whatever, and I'm always telling myself, let them do the talking, let them do the talking, let them do. And as soon as they go, we really love this piece. That's Orlando, and let me tell you about Orlando. And I can, in myself inside, I'm going, shut up, stop talking. And this guy's going, no, keep going, dude. They're loving it. I'm like, no, they're not. So yeah, I talk way too much.
That's all good.
Well, listen, guys. Good luck at the show.
All right, thank you. You too.
Please let me know. Just email me if you ever need anything. If there's something I can do to help promote something you're doing or whatever. I'd love to throw it up on the blog.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode featuring Don Thompson, the founder of the Poster Posse. Please make sure to visit posterposse.com to check out their latest projects. In fact, they just did a space-themed project that includes an amazing Silver Surfer poster by artist Chris Skinner. It's incredible. You just have to check it out yourself. If you believe in our mission to be the voice of independent creators, we would love a rating, hopefully 5 stars, and a comment on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, please share our episodes using the hashtag HallHShow. Peace, cheers, and if you would like to recommend a guest for our show, please reach out to us on any of our social media accounts or our website, hallh.com.